Yo guys, what's up and welcome to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show y'all how Wheezy makes crazy guitar samples and beats for Gunna and Roddy Ricch. First I'm going to show y'all the sample, then I'm going to break it down and show y'all how I mixed it, and then I'm going to show y'all how I made a beat to it. So please make sure to watch till the end, make sure to like and to comment on this video, and yeah guys, let's go. Started off with using contact with the Gunna 6 with the nylon guitar preset, and I just laid down this pretty simple triplet pattern. It's a pretty basic pattern, as I said, it's pretty repetitive. I played with the velocities to make it sound more realistic, and this is how the finished pattern is sounding like. And with these repetitive patterns, make sure to switch up the bass notes just to give it more variety, and it won't sound that repetitive. And for the effects, I use this A1 stereo control. With these settings, I played with the stereo wide and the safe bass frequency. Then I had this Apex vintage exciter from Waves, and I turned it to around 6 to make the guitar sound more like it's actually a real guitar. Then I had the simple reverb. I tweaked the mix, decay, and the low cut. And then this soothe just to get rid of all the unwanted frequencies. And then this EQ where I cut out some of the lows and boosted the mids and the highs. Then for the next thing, I laid down the top line for the guitar, and I used the same guitar, and I basically just played what actually fitted to the pattern. I played with the velocities and had these little rolls just to make it sound more interesting and to give it some like variation, and this is how the finished guitar melody sounded like. And for the effects on this top line, I had an S1 Imager stereo from Waves with these settings. Then I had this Apex vintage exciter from Waves again. Then this J37 stereo with the acoustic guitar preset. Then this Fruity Delay 3, I tweaked the level, cutoff, and wet. And this Valhalla vintage verb where I tweaked the mix, decay, and the low cut. And then these two EQs. And this soothe just to get rid of all the unwanted and harsh frequencies. Then for the next thing, I had this vocal from Splice. It's from 91 Vocals, from the drill vocals pack, and I picked this one because it fitted, and I chopped it up a bit just to make it sound more interesting, and it sounds like this. And for the effects on these vocals, I used Panman just to make it not like stay in the middle all the time. Then there's Fruity Delay 2 with these settings. Then it's basic Fruity Reverb. I just played with the decay and the stereo separation, I think. Then this soothe just to get rid of all the unwanted frequencies. And then this EQ just to make it sound a bit more vintage. Then for the next thing, I had this hi-hat loop from Nami. It's just there to give it more texture and like a rhythm to it. And this is how it sounds like. And for the effects on the side loop, I just had the simple EQ where I took out a lot of the lows and a lot of the highs just to bring it more in the background. Then for the next thing, I used another vocal from Splice on the same pack as the other one, and it has the same effects as the other vocal, and this is how it sounds like. And then for the last thing, I had this violin from Gunna 6 from Contact. I just played with the velocities just to make it sound more realistic, and this is how the finished pattern is sounding like. And for the effects on this violin, I just had the simple reverb where I tweaked the mix and the decay. And then I had this EQ just to take out a lot of the lows because I didn't like how the lows were sounding. And yeah, that's basically it. So now just just open up the FLP for the beat, and the first thing I did was laying on this hi-hat pattern. It's a pretty simple pattern with a few rolls, and I played with the velocities from the different notes and the different rolls, and this is how the finished hi-hat pattern is sounding like. Then after that I add this recycled clap from my stash kit, and it sounds like this. Then for the next thing I had this 808 snare from my stash kit again, and I laid down a pretty simple pattern, and it sounds like this. Then for the second last thing I had the short openhat from my stash kit, and it sounds like this. And then for the last thing I had this 808 pattern, which is pretty simple and pretty basic. It just follows the root notes from the guitar, and the 808 pattern with the finished beat is sounding like this. So yeah guys, if y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a comment and a like on this video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel as well, and make sure to check out my socials. The links for that will be in my description. And thank y'all for this crazy support. We are almost 1.1k. And by the way, I dropped a sample pack with 15 samples. The link for that will be in my description. Make sure to check that out. And yeah guys, see y'all.